Hello and welcome to the final installment for Danza del Altiplano by Leo Brouwer. In this we're going to check out the back half of this piece. We're going to see how you can improve it, how you can add your own improvisation to it, and I'm going to fix some of the problems in the score because there are one or two wrong notes, believe it or not. Alright, with all of that said, let's just dive straight into the back half of Danza del Altiplano, the improvised version by Leo Brouwer. Welcome back. Here we are, micro study number 1 for this section. We're in the più mosso alla danza section, so slightly faster with a dance-like character. We're going to be kicking it off with some handy chord shapes that Brouwer shifts around. I'm also going to show you the problems in the score compared to the live version. So to kick it off, we have an A minor, 1 and 2. Third finger is then going to bounce onto the C. You can then slide up with that third finger to the E at 7th fret and repeat another A minor chord. So it's an A, C and an E. From this point, this is where we get our first error. You have the possibility of this chord in the score, open strings, C. That's what's printed, and yes, it possibly could be right, but I know for a fact that it's not. Well, I say fact, who knows, because I think Brouwer was improvising a little bit with this. What Brouwer actually intended at this point was this chord, D minor 7, so A, C, F, A. 5th fret half bar, A on the 7, to that G on string 4, down to the C. The choice is yours. You can either follow the score or you could take my idea up, which I have got through my teacher, Neil Smith, who actually did discuss this with Leo Brouwer, just to put it into context. We then go to a C. Some nice polyrhythms here. So C major, it's what I would call a cowboy way of playing it. If you play Bon Jovi's Wanted Dead or Alive, you'll know it. Pull-offs with fingers 3 and 4 on the D and G. Now they're not straight pull-offs, they're more pull-ups. Pull-up. You're then going to, in the score, 2 and 3 slide up, 2, 8 and 7, F and A, open strings. Now the score decides that this is the next chord. It's not. In the live version, Brouwer corrects those notes to E natural. So we have that and possibly open strings. I can't quite figure that out, but I use open strings there because it goes with the rest of the character of that bar. To C. So you have the choice there of those two bars where we have this chord here or this chord here. It's highly unlikely that Brouwer chose this chord. I think it's a printing error, and there are printing errors in 1 or 2 of Brouwer's earlier music. Okay, back to C, and then we'll repeat. To the next idea, which is a really, really lovely, simple idea. Welcome back to the next micro study. Ritmico. Again, we have staccato, which we saw in the first section. So the first section staccato, we're looking at right hand, right hand pumping for that first section staccato. Here we have, and again, if you look in this angle here, you'll see that it's my right hand that's doing the staccato. Can you see? I'm actually planting on the string to make sure that it is staccato. So I'm using 3 there, to 1 at the D at 5, and then your 1 is going to float down to C, and it is pull off time, A to E. You have 2 choices, right hand, P and M. Or you could do double P. This repeats. To just a single pull off there before we get into the next series of chords. Let's take a look at this idea in slow motion. Welcome back to the next micro study. It's all chords here. So we're looking at this shape here at half bar at the 9. Notice that I am on 5 strings for this, but my 3rd finger is on the G sharp at 11. So it's 3 at 11, 9, 4, 12. And then your 2nd finger is going to go down onto a D, and you're going to lift your 3rd finger and your 4th finger off for this fantastic 9th chord. And then this entire thing is going to slide down, and as you do, notice in that my finger drops down again so that I am exposing E and A. With 4th finger on C, high C, and then 4th finger is going to disappear to A and then back to C. The melody itself does this. Where we get into, again, a lovely polyrhythm section here. So let's take a look at this. Right, quick camera angle change here, just to tackle these chords. Barring at fret 9, 3rd finger on a D, 3rd finger on a G sharp at 11, 4th finger on a high 12. So I'm using thumb strike down. I is moving up and down in a flamenco sort of flicking way. Thumb is doing all the accenting there. It sounds massive and huge. Half bar at 5, open E and A together. You are then going to repeat that. So I'm using a thumb strike at the beginning of these bars. I is doing the flicking motion again. And then it doubles up. Thumb, pull off, I. Hold it on, tamburo. Obviously, nice wrist action there. Those are those chords in that section. Thumb does all the accenting if you can. It's in the score. Brouwer has made it nice and easy, but that hopefully will make it clear for you too. Alrighty, quick interruption here, just to let you know there are a ton of links below here. There is a link to every cage system shape I use in the improvisation section for this piece, along with a free cheat sheet that gives you the cage system in C. Show you the shapes, where to put them, what to do with them. They all tie into being able to move and improvise freely on the fretboard. So if that is your thing and you're interested, check out the very short, they're only 1-minute videos below for each shape, and grab your own cheat sheet. Hopefully that'll help you get better at improvising for Danza del Altiplano. Alrighty, so welcome to the next micro study. This is where it all gets very interesting. So we get a full repeat of the A section of this piece. Everything in that first video, apart from the introduction, everything from this point on, all of that jazz. You get the opportunity now to make that your own, which we're going to dive into. After you have done that, it goes back into the piece. Back into that Andean flute-inspired melody. before cycling around to the ending, where again you have the opportunity of extending it. Once you've done this section here, obviously it goes to in the score. You can extend that idea if you really wanted to. It depends on where you want to go with it. It's the entire fretboard is now open to you, just using that one idea and changing it in different positions. That is open to you. Brouwer then obviously it uses this idea to end with, and again I have extended it into something more, and then again I have extended up the octave. It just seemed logical to me to go up the octave for that, because he's doing that anyway. So those are all different ideas that you can put into this section. I'm not going to do the repeat section again. It's exactly the same as in the first video. You can always check it out. There is a link below. Let's have a look at all of these ideas and how I manipulate them for my version of the return to Danza del Altiplano. Alrighty, so from this point onwards, this is where it all becomes magic, because here you get to put your own spin on things. So I'm taking some ideas from Neil Smith, my old teacher, and some of my own ideas that I have built up. I am using the G shape, the E shape, and then even the bottom half of the D shape up there. And of course, that C shape. So in effect, there's only like one shape I'm not using here, which is A. I am trying my best to come up with my own ideas. So in the score, as far as the score is concerned, and you need to keep this in mind that all scores do this, they're aimed at an audience that are the buying public. You're not going to buy a score if it's got thousands of notations on it and hundreds of notes, because it'll put you off. So the scores have been made simple. All scores do this, apart from maybe Roland Dians, who just loves putting detail into his scores. This has been part of publishing for hundreds of years. Music publishers would never get money if the scores were too difficult for people to read and to play. So the score goes back to the beginning. But you have the opportunity, and Brouwer does this, to improvise again, but this time to do your own ideas. So I'm going to share with you my ideas for what I'm doing. First of all, I'm using fourths. And then I'm using more tambura here. I am then going into that. And then I'm going, I don't really think about it, to be quite honest, but anyway, I'm forcing myself to think about it. Here we go. So, extra tambura again. So this idea I've stolen from Pierre Ben Susan, where he does double-handed tapping and just speed it up, slide into the power chord. Here I'm sliding up into E. I'm using this shape that is just part of sometimes I come down the E shape, or I go straight into the G sharp. Taking a little bit of Brouwer's ideas, C, B, bit of dissonance that's like, it should, that's too sweet. Then, for the next bit, obviously in the original, Brouwer does this. Wasn't good enough for me. I go up the fretboard 2 times, B, C, D, into that harmonic there. And then into I add an extra, back down. Before we're into that left hand. The ending is power chord F to A with tambura and portamento. And again, I've added extra tambura with hammer-ons, as you can see. So I'm having fun with it at the end there. I am not playing it's a little boring, if I'm going to be honest. And if you're going to play this, you might as well jazz it up a little bit. Obviously, again, that's up to you. I'm hoping that this is where it lands with most of you, that you're there and you want to be able to extend the ideas. Brouwer did. Why shouldn't you? Let's check all of that out in slow motion. Thank you very much for staying until the end. This has been brought to you by classicalguitarrocks.com, my baby. There are a ton of lessons just like this. More Brouwer, more Villa-Lobos, all waiting for you to snaffle up and have a look at. So if you want more challenging pieces, head over to classicalguitarrocks.com today for some 6-string inspiration.